A CEO once fired his best salesman for winning too easily, and when people asked why, he said something that stuck with me for years. He said a man who needs to prove he's right in every room will eventually lose the room, and that single idea is the whole difference between ego that destroys you and ego that makes you dangerous, because most people think ego is the enemy. Self-help culture has spent a decade telling you to kill your ego, shrink it, humble yourself into invisibility, but that advice was never meant for people who actually want power. It was meant to keep people manageable. And today, I'm going to show you how the most influential people in history did the exact opposite. They didn't destroy their ego, they aimed it, and there's a massive difference between the two. Here's the first thing almost nobody understands. Ego isn't your confidence. Ego is your self-image, the story you carry about who you are, and that story only becomes dangerous to you when other people are allowed to write it instead of you. Watch what happens when someone insults a person with a weak sense of self. They react instantly, face changes, voice rises, because the insult landed directly on unprotected territory. But watch a person with a controlled ego take the same insult. There's a delay, almost a flicker of amusement, because the words never touched anything real. They bounced off a version of themselves that the other person doesn't even have access to, and that gap right there, that half second of nothing, is read by everyone watching as raw power, even though nothing was said. Now here's something that will completely reframe how you see confident people. The most dangerous individuals in negotiation rooms are not the ones who seem the most self-assured. They're the ones who seem mildly unbothered by whether they win or lose. Business negotiators call this the detachment effect. The moment you need the outcome too badly, your ego ties itself to the result, and the second someone senses that attachment, they own you. They can push you, delay you, undercut you, because you've told them silently that you cannot walk away. But the person whose ego is tied only to their own standards, not to the outcome, not to the other person's approval, becomes almost impossible to manipulate because there's nothing hanging in the air for the other person to grab onto. This next one is uncomfortable, but it's true. Praise is one of the most effective manipulation tools that exists, and it works specifically on ego. Con artists have used this for centuries. They don't flatter the insecure. Insecure people are suspicious of compliments. They flatter people who secretly already believe the compliment is true, because that person accepts it without questioning it. And once accepted, that person will defend the source of that praise, agree with them more often, and lower their guard around them, almost without realizing it's happening. So here's the flip of that. When someone showers you with praise faster than they've earned the right to, that's not always admiration. Sometimes that's the opening move of a much longer game, and a controlled ego knows the difference between being appreciated and being buttered. If any of this is landing differently than what you expected walking in, drop a comment and tell me which insight hit hardest, because I read every single one. And honestly, some of the best ideas in future videos come directly from what you all point out that I missed. Moving into the fourth insight, and this one comes straight from military history, specifically from how commanders were trained to handle underestimation. There's a strategic advantage in letting people believe they've already figured you out. When someone underestimates you, they stop preparing for you, they relax their guard, they stop watching closely, which means every move you make afterward lands with far more impact than it would have if they'd seen you coming. This is why so many quietly powerful people never correct the room when they're misjudged. They let the wrong impression sit there and do the work for them, because a controlled ego doesn't need the room to see your full strength immediately. It only needs the room to see it eventually, on your terms. Fifth insight, and this might be the most important one, the healthiest egos are not the loudest ones. They're the ones that can survive being wrong in public. Most people protect their ego by refusing to admit mistakes, doubling down, shifting blame, because being wrong feels like a direct hit to their identity. But a trained ego treats being wrong as information, not injury. And here's the part that surprises people. Publicly admitting a mistake with zero defensiveness is one of the most disarming power moves that exists, because it removes the other person's ability to attack you over it. There's nothing left to push against. You already said it, you already owned it, and that composure under a hit is what actually earns long-term respect, not the appearance of never being wrong. So let's bring this together, because there's a thread running through everything I just told you. Ego becomes dangerous in the right way the moment it stops, depending on outside validation, and starts depending on internal standards you set for yourself. The version of you that reacts to every insult, chases every compliment, needs to win every argument. That version is easy to read and easy to control. But the version of you whose identity isn't up for public debate, that version becomes almost impossible to shake. And that's not arrogance. Arrogance is loud because it's insecure underneath. This is quiet because there's nothing underneath that needs defending. Your takeaway is this: stop trying to kill your ego. Start deciding who's allowed to shape it. Because right now, if you're honest with yourself, some of your self-worth is still sitting in other people's hands, in their opinions, their approval, their reactions to you, and every day you leave it there is another day someone else has quiet control over how you feel about yourself. Take it back. Subscribe if you want the next breakdown on how manipulators specifically target people with fragile egos, because that video is going to expose tactics you've probably experienced without ever naming them, and once you name them, they stop working on you completely.